and welcome to Andrea Yoga today. So for today's class we're going to be practicing some strengthening and some stretches for tender shoulders. So if you are a runner and you've got any sort of shoulder tendonitis, this is the class for you. Bit of frozen shoulder, that sort of stuff. So here are some sort of therapeutic yoga postures that you can use to help to loosen up those shoulders and help you to recover from sort of niggling little injuries that just sort of seem to get in the way of everyday life. So for today's class, what you might want is to bring into play perhaps a strap if you have a brick at home, maybe a seat, certainly a sort of cushion, pillow, bolster or blanket. You can practice most of these things without props at all. I'm going to show you how you can use your props to enhance your practice, and also it's quite handy for this one to be near to a wall. Okay, so when you have sort of shoulder injuries, it doesn't mean that you cannot practice yoga. It just means that you have to take things really carefully and be a really good listener to your body's signals. So we need to be really careful, especially where we are weight bearing, etc. And it's also important to recognise that actually some discomfort along the way to healing is sort of an inevitable part of the process. But remember, rest if you need to, take advice from a healthcare professional if you need to before practicing, and let's get started. Okay, so we're going to begin in a sitting position, and we are going to stretch out the shoulders with some gentle eagle arms. Okay, so find yourself a comfortable and steady seat, legs crossed, kneeling, legs extended, whatever you wish, just nice and steady and comfortable. And we're going to begin by just gently sweeping the fingertips out towards the side of the room, so careful not to elevate those shoulders too high up. And then from here we're going to gently exhale to round the spine and gently bring those palms to press in front of the body. So some seated sort of cat-cows. Inhale to open and maybe soften through the elbows, soften the shoulders as you open the palms broadly. Inhale to lift the chest, maybe roll the palms up as you do, and then exhale to softly close back down. Okay, again, inhale to open. Gently does it, and this time we're going to exhale and gently bring that right elbow on top of the left elbow. So from this position we're going to gently sweep the right palm all the way around, thumb is facing in, soften the shoulders here, bring the palms in front of the face and gently point the fingertips up towards the sky as you soften the shoulder blades down the back. Maybe you can softly close the eyes here, just lift the heart a little, an upright quality to the spine, and just take a few breaths here as you soften the shoulders and create a little space with the breath between the shoulder blades. Holding here. Keep the breath steady and smooth, belly drawn in up and underneath the floating ribs. And then inhale to unwind, sweep the palms wide, maybe palms roll up, shoulders soften, lift the heart, inhale. And exhale, we're going to stack that left elbow on top of right this time, sweeping that left palm all the way around, or reaching for opposite shoulders if that's your preference, if that feels more comfortable. Otherwise, sweeping that left palm around until those right fingertips are pressing in alongside the left palm, and soften the shoulders down as you lengthen the fingertips up, and again just gently soften or close the eyes here. Eagle arms. Breathing into that space between the shoulders. And then inhale to soften and unwind, palms roll up. And as we exhale, we're going to bring the palms to press behind the body. So we're going to lower the palms to the floor. Roll those shoulders back and lift the chest. And maybe here you lengthen through the toes to sit nice and tall, gently weaving those elbows in towards center. Roll those shoulders back, set through the palms here as you gently press and lift through the chest and soften through the toes. Holding here. A couple of deep breaths in and out, and in, and And gently exhale, soften the shoulders, bend at the elbows and press all the way up to a comfortable seat. So here, if you've got a brick or a cushion that you can bring in, just switch across to the shins from where we began and see if you can bring your brick behind you. We're going to bring the palms to press in alongside the brick. So press the brick in towards center, sit nice and tall, and gently press those shoulders in. Maybe loop the fingertips around the corner of the brick. As you roll the shoulders back, press the heart up, and then gently, if you can, just gently lengthen the heart forwards over those hips as you just lift the palms up. Go really carefully here, paying real attention to the messages that your body is sending. Keep the crown head nice and long, press the brick between the hands, and then exhale to softly release and lower down. Okay, so gently rolling out the shoulders. Soften the fingers, rolling back the other way. Switch across to the shins, take your brick between your palms, and same thing again. As we're ready, get grounded through the sit bones. Press the palms against your brick or your prop or your cushions. Start to reach the palms back as you press the palms together. Gently roll those shoulders open and lengthen the heart forwards over those hips. Maybe draw those front toes back, keeping those knees protected, and gently lift and press. Just gently does it. Inhale to lengthen, and then exhale to softly release. Okay, so moving your brick off to one side, and then from here we're going to come onto all fours. So if you also happen to have tender knees, you might want to reach for your blanket and place it across the centre of your mat. Otherwise, just find your way to all fours. However you get there, it's fine. So from this position, we're just going to gently weight bear a little through the shoulders, but always in absolute control of how much weight we're bringing through the palms of the hands and into the shoulders here. So we're going to come into a gentle twist. So with those knees hip width apart, toes can be tucked under, or you can be resting on the tops of the feet. We're just gently going to place that left palm down towards the earth and bring that left shoulder over the left wrist. Come to a neutral spine here. Maybe you start with both palms against the floor. And then lengthen tailbone and crown in opposite directions as we gently set through the left palm, bringing that shoulder strongly over that wrist, and just gently lift the right fingertips up towards the side. Now if you've got some tenderness in the right shoulder, you will want to keep the elbow quite low below the shoulders. Otherwise you can lift those fingertips up, roll the palm away, roll the shoulder head open, and just gently press that floor away as you set through that left palm, bringing a little bit of weight through that left shoulder, so a bit of strength building here. Otherwise, bring that right elbow to bent, soften that shoulder back, or maybe even rest it at the hip or at the low back. Palm up or down, whichever feels comfortable. Pressing through that left palm, bring the weight forward, engage the belly, press the thighs in towards centre, and then exhale to unwind, bringing right palm to the floor. We're going to go over towards the other side now. So bring the shoulders over the wrists, fan those fingers wide. From here, we're going to gently lengthen through the left elbow up towards the side of the room. And either stay here with the elbow below or above the shoulder, drawing that left shoulder back, or you can float the palms up towards the sky as you press the floor away and twist gently over towards the left-hand side, pressing through that right shoulder here. So finding a comfortable twist as you breathe smoothly. So smooth inhales, steady exhales, and then exhale to softly unwind. Okay, so from this position, if you happen to have your chair nearby, we're going to softly, gently open up the shoulders. So if this is just coming to the nearest sofa, the chair, or having it in front of you. Just bring mine into play here. I'm going to bring the knees together or apart, depending what feels comfortable. And again, pad up the knees if you want to. Toes can be tucked under or resting on the tops of the feet, with the big toes resting in. So just adjusting yourself fully, so you're sitting heavily against those feet or ankles, and just gently bring the elbows forward here. So from this position, shifting so that you feel comfortable, and bringing those elbows to that raised surface and steepling those fingertips behind the head. So the thumbs press gently against the nape of the neck, press the heart towards the earth, and breathe into that space between the shoulders. You can rest your forehead here, or for a deeper stretch, you can bring the chin towards your sofa or your chair, and just sort of allow the back of the heart space to soften as you sink the heart forwards, and just gently tease open the shoulders here, holding in this position. So forehead or chin, gently resting those upper arms and just slightly above the angle of the shoulders. Hips towards heels, knees together or apart. Good, and then exhale to softly release. Okay, so bringing your brick back in, if you have one, or a cushion or pillow is absolutely fine. Similar position, bringing that brick into the palms of the hands, and this time, pressing those palms together, roll those shoulders back and bringing that chin to rest on that surface as you stretch the palms towards the back of the room. You can do the same with a strap here, so you can bring a strap around the wrists or through the palms of the hands, and just rest that chin against that elevated surface here. So here's with the brick. Other option is to use your strap. Bring that across the low back. Draw the fists down and away. As you roll the shoulders back, press the heart forwards and rest the chin. Softening that heart space between the shoulders. Just lengthening through the neck here, gently stretching as we roll the shoulders back. And you can bring, if you're using a strap rather than a brick, you can bring that strap as wide as you need to make sure the stretch is milder, more comfortable. And you can walk the palms a little closer in once those shoulders get gently warmed up. So holding that chin there, bringing those straps between the hands, gently pulling and prizing the strap or the brick apart, or pressing in if you're using a brick. And then as you exhale, draw the belly in and come all the way back up to a kneeling position. So here is where your wall is going to be really handy. So we're going to practice a little sort of kneeling broken wing. So a real gentle stretch once more across the front of the shoulders here. So if you've got any tightness or tenderness across the front, go really carefully. So bringing your blanket or your cushion close to the wall and coming into a kneeling position. You can sit back on the heels for this one. So sitting back onto the heels and just gently angling your body to face at a sort of 45 to 90 degree angle away from the wall. As you gently bring your right palm to press either with the elbow bent or arm outstretched, and just angle the body gently away, drawing the tailbone under, sitting nice and tall through the spine, and pressing through that right palm, either the arm outstretched or the elbow bent, as you angle that body over towards the left-hand side. And again, fully conscious of how much weight you're bringing through that right shoulder, pressing lightly but firmly through that right palm as you twist over towards the left-hand side. Again, hips resting on the heels, belly drawn in, spine nice and long. And then exhale to softly release. And just slowly making your way over towards the other side. So again, angling the body in the opposite direction. So turning those knees over towards the right-hand side. Again, pad up the knees if you need to. Bringing that left elbow to bent or the arm outstretched and lower down. And gently twisting over towards that right-hand side, bringing those fingertips, the right fingertips towards the floor. Sit nice and tall. Draw that belly in. Press through that left palm. Again, remember you can always cactus the arm against the wall for a more moderate stretch, pressing through the forearm as well. A little bit of a pec stretch as well, getting into the chest as you look over towards the right-hand side. Good, and then as you're ready, we're going to exhale and steadily unwind. Okay, so from here, we're going to slowly make our way to standing. Again, no hurry, no worry here. Probably don't need the blanket for a while, so we can pop that up over to one side. So we're going to make our way to standing. However you get there is fine. I'm going to bring those big toes together and create a little bit of space between the heels. So again, going really carefully on those shoulders if there's any tenderness or soreness there. And careful not to elevate the shoulders, the arms too quickly above the head because that can create the problem. So big toes together, heels apart, coming into your Tadasana, your strong mountain pose. And then from this position with the shoulders soft over those hips and those palms rolling in towards the side of the body, we're just going to interlace those fingertips all the way up to the knuckle, palms face up to begin with. Drop the shoulders, press the palms down, and as you're ready, start to press through the palms of the hands. You can have arrow straight arms or bent elbows depending on how the shoulders feel. So be, again, listening really carefully to your body signals, pressing down and away, creating your own resistance here, thighs spinning in, belly drawn in, spine nice and tall. And you might only get so far before the shoulders start to pinch and hurt. And if that's the case, then drop those arms a little lower down to reduce the stretch. But if it's comfortable, if you're able to, you can start to press through the palms of the hands. Gently does it. Keep the belly drawn in and slowly, slowly, slowly inhale as you bring those palms up and overhead. Soften those shoulders, maybe you bend at the elbows here, maybe you even bring the palms behind the head as you soften the elbows out towards the side of the room. As we exhale, we're going to go out as slowly and mindfully as we went in. Exhale to press up through the palms of the hands. Roll those palms up towards the sky, soften the shoulders with control, really slowly, does it? Press through the palms as if against an imaginary wall. And then softly release. And before you release, see if you can notice which pinky finger is on top, because we're going to practice one more time and switch out to the other side. So releasing those palms alongside the hips, shoulders drop down. And then as we are ready, we're going to inhale, take the opposite interlace, draw those palms up underneath the heart to begin. Take an inhale here. Then as we exhale again, really slowly press through the palms of the hands, gently press through as if through that imaginary wall, creating our own resistance, keeping the shoulders soft. Again, elbows might be soft here. Press through the palms as we gently stretch up towards the sky, and again, find that softness. Where can you do less? And maybe even bringing those palms behind the head and opening those elbows wide, keeping those thighs spinning in, the spine nice and tall, crown of the head balancing nicely on the neck. Then as we exhale, we're going to softly release, reversing back the way we came. And again, it doesn't matter if you get no higher than belly height at this stage. It's a yoga practice, not a yoga perfect. And practice makes progress. And as we exhale, draw those palms in towards the side of the hips. And we're going to come into a little bit of a shoulder cuff stretch. So from our Tadasana pose, we're going to curl the top fingers in and bring the bottom palm, so the palms are facing. Interlace the fingertips up towards the knuckles and drop the shoulders down. Again, engage the thighs, draw the belly in, tailbone is long towards the heels. From this position just in front of the navel, about there, we're going to gently resist the fingertips away from each other, and you'll feel a bit of strength coming into the shoulders here. So shoulder rotator cuff strength here. So gently pull at those knuckles as you soften those shoulders and press those arms out towards the side of the room. Drop the shoulders, belly nice and strong, gently but firmly pulling those fingers apart. And then exhale to softly release, and we're going to switch. So the opposite hand's on top, drop the fingers, maybe bring the palms to the side, then take the opposite interlace. Drop the shoulders once more, elbows out towards the side, thumbs sort of at navel height, and gently pull those fingers apart. Holding here. Maybe even soften or close the eyes and really send that awareness into those shoulders. And then exhale to softly release. We're going to practice the same thing but from behind. So from our Tadasana pose, we're going to take the opposite interlace once more, if that's comfortable for the shoulders. Curling those fingertips in all the way up to the knuckle, drop the shoulders, elbows out towards the side, and gently but firmly pulling those fingers apart as you drop the shoulders, draw the shoulders in, elbows point out towards the side of the room. And maybe you can hold for 3 to 5 seconds before you gently release. Palms alongside the hips, take an inhale, stand tall, and then switch to the other side. Same thing, curling up to the knuckles, drop the shoulders, elbows go wide, tailbone goes long towards the heels, and gently pull those fingertips apart. Gentle strengthening for those shoulder cuffs. Good, and then as we're ready, we're going to exhale, release, and bring our side body towards the wall. Okay, so from this position, we're going to take a nice sort of side stretch here. So we're going to bring the right foot behind the left. It might look like left behind right, doesn't matter. We're going to do both sides. So from this position, crossing at the shins, bringing the thighs together and bringing those fingertips over towards the side of the wall. So steepling those fingertips against your wall, and you might need to sort of sneak in a little bit closer, okay? From this position, we're going to press the thighs together, draw the belly in, lengthen the tailbone, and see if we can press the floor away. Getting a bit of a side stretch and putting a little bit of pressure through the fingertips until you can feel some strength coming into the shoulders as well. Holding here. So delicious side stretch as well as some shoulder strengthening. Hold for 3, 2, 1, and release on the exhale. Gently unwind. And then we're going to take the other side. So maybe you turn to face the other way and bring the right foot across left. Same thing other side. So bring those fingertips, palms will be facing in. Rest those steeple fingertips against the floor, elbows are nicely bent. Press that wall away as we twist from the waist. Draw the shoulders to parallel and put a little bit of pressure through the fingertips. firming into the shoulders as you press through the feet. Squeeze the thighs together and lengthen, looking over towards the left, up, middle or down. Holding here for 3, 2, 1, and then gently use the belly to unwind. And then we're going to turn and face the wall this time. I'm going to bring either those steepled fingertips to the wall or palms planted against the wall. So this is something to work up to, okay? So maybe we start with the fingertips about shoulder width apart, and the fingertips point up towards the sky and fan those fingertips broadly. From this position, fingertips maybe at shoulder height or a little bit lower if that feels more comfortable. Find where it feels comfortable. And then from this position, we're going to gently lean into the fingertips as we soften the shoulders and bend at the elbows, bringing the chest between the arms. Go really carefully, hug those elbows in. And then exhale to press the wall away. Good, you can practice the same again or flatten the palms, okay? Same thing, press the big toes in, heels spread out wide, and stand nice and tall, thighs spinning in. From this position, start to press against the palms and bring the weight through the hands, through the wrists here. Start to bend the elbows and bring that chest between against the arms and maybe the nose gently touches the wall. And then exhale to press through the palms to the hands and steadily release. Last time from here, fingertips steepled or palms planted, whatever option works for you, and slowly does it. Elbows tucked in, shoulders stacked over those hips, and gently softly bend those elbows as you bring the chest forwards. Maybe the nose comes all the way to the wall, maybe it doesn't. And then gently press through to come all the way back. Okay, so from here, the last one, lying down. Okay, so for this one, what you might want is some cushions or pillows nearby. I'm going to use a bolster. You can use a blanket wrapped over a brick. There are a couple of options for this one. This one's quite a good one for frozen shoulder. So you might want to gently wrap your brick in a blanket to sort of soften that surface, and bring it sort of either widthways or lengthways across where your shoulder, just below the shoulder blades. I prefer lengthways across the centre of the mat with the blanket over the top, or you can do the same with your bolster, so same direction across the width of the mat, or you can support the spine with the bolster, cushions, pillows lengthways. We're just going to allow the shoulders to hang a little, so just allowing gravity and time to soften those shoulders, release any sort of frozen sensations that we have there, and just allow weight and gravity, so gravity and time, just gently open across the chest and soften the shoulders. So taking, so you can use one or other or both things if you want to, and finding that comfortable position on the floor. And what you want to do is just gently lower the body over your bricks and props, legs extended or legs can be crossed. Roll the palms up towards the sky, moving away anything else that's going to be a distraction. Lengthen through the toes, walk the feet wide, toes can soften, elbows hang in heavily against the earth, shoulders soften back, tuck them down away from the ears, heart is gently lifted skywards. As you gently lay back, whole body soft, and just allow a bit of release for the fronts of the shoulders here. Chin away from the chest. Head can be supported on cushions, so you'll find a comfortable position that works for your body. So remember, there's no real way to get this wrong at all. It's just about listening to what your body needs and bringing your yoga practice to you. So just softening those shoulders, allowing the whole body to rest heavily against the earth. Eyes soft or even closed, and just relax. And you can push pause and stay here for as long as you wish. Or when you are ready, you can roll off of your props and come all the way down to a Shavasana. Just release the whole body. Allow that breath to be smooth and steady, breathing the way you want to live. Gravity and time are our friends here. Soften the backs of the hands, the palms of the hands, the fingers curl in. And again, just feel free to stay here for as long as you feel comfortable, or find your way to your Shavasana, resting with your back completely against the floor. Chin ever so slightly tucked in. feet wide, arms wide, and just relax. And then as you are ready, gently breathing some deeper breaths, starting to prepare the body to move. As you roll the palms down or press through the arms if the shoulders are sore, maybe roll off to your right hand side and pause for a breath, and then gently find your way to a comfortable seat facing this way. And then as you're ready, bring the palms to press in front of the heart, bow the head. In gratitude for our practice today, and then palms in front of the forehead for loving thoughts, to the heart centre for loving intentions, and to the lips for loving communications. Thank you so much for your practice today. Let me know how it went in the comments below the video, and I look forward to more requests for videos. It's all about you, remember, and your practice. Thank you for your practice once more, and namaste.